So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the producer of the show and my very, very good friend, Linda Killi.
You may have heard the saying that as a parent, you're only as happy as your saddest child. That feeling hit my husband Dan and I hard several years ago when our daughter had her first manic attack without warning at age 26. Her childhood, teenage years, and college years were all very normal. She was a newlywed and off to a great career when it all came crashing down one night when we got this call. Dad, I have a secret. I want to tell you my secret. Dad, do you have ice in your phone? You need ice in your phone. I saw Jesus, and he said we're all going to heaven. And this was repeated like a broken record, over and over. Thus, our first experience with someone with a mental illness, and subsequently with hospital psychiatric wards. After the 911 call and a trip to the hospital when nothing physically wrong could be found, she was moved to the psychiatric ward. She was given some heavy-duty drugs that helped bring her back to normal. 3 days later, she was diagnosed with sleep deprivation. Okay, we thought, that should be an easy fix. Wrong. 2 weeks later, the earlier drugs, having totally worn off, she was back in a psych hospital, this time on Christmas Day, while visiting us here in Florida, and she was repeating the numbers 1 to 10, backwards and forwards, on the way to the hospital. Our denial was over, and real fear started to sink in. After another round of hard drugs and a couple of days in that hospital, she was able to be released. Our closest friends reached out to their doctor, who referred us to a psychiatrist in private practice who diagnosed her with bipolar I disorder. After about a year of trial and error, the right medication that worked for her condition was finally found, one that didn't make her feel lethargic and miserable, like many of the drugs do. But that was a year of her feeling depressed, experiencing major anxiety, and saying that she couldn't live feeling like this. For us parents, it was a year of worry and hope and lots of prayer. I'm happy to say that our prayers were answered, and since then, she and her wonderful husband, Ben, who has supported her throughout, have been able to have 2 beautiful children. There have been additional hospitalizations during her pregnancies when she attempted to go off her medications, and due to sleep deprivation, a common occurrence with newborns, as anyone who has had a baby knows. There is a silver lining to this story, though, and I'll let her tell you the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce my daughter, Jennifer Lynn Killi Marshall, the co-founder and executive director of This Is My Brave.